politics in the United States of America. The left has gotten really left, and the right has gotten really right. Everyone's towing the line, and we're getting nowhere. Fast. This is the Rational American. The Rational American. Common sense has gone out the window, and our passion is to open eyes in hopes that people will take a rational look at what America is actually becoming. Put your feelings aside and let's get real. This is the Rational American, and this is your host, Steve Oatley.
Well, hello. It's too bright in here. Actually, now it's too dark. I should turn on the lights, shouldn't I? Should I be like this? Let there be light. Anyway, welcome to the show. How you guys doing? Today is September 27th, it's 8:01 p.m. We're live everywhere. All social media channels plus Citizen Stringer TV. And there's a hurricane and tornadoes ravishing the southern tip of Florida. Currently right now, confirmed tornadoes, at least more than one. Broward County and Miami-Dade County, I think, had one as well. Miami-Dade County, some of it is currently without power already. And it's not even expected to make landfall until around 2 p.m. tomorrow. It did switch its hurricane, Ian, did switch its trajectory a little bit. And now it's supposed to make landfall, I believe, around 2 p.m. tomorrow. But it's actually going to hit more towards Sarasota now. Whereas before it was, first they said Tampa, then it was saying Fort Myers, Naples area. Now it's kind of shifted according to the latest, like routing, whatever you call that, spaghetti models. It is now shifted back towards Sarasota, Florida, which is weird because I lived in Florida, albeit it was the other coast, but I thought Sarasota was up north. And my wife is like, no. So, and the reason why my wife knows about all this is because I just called her and said, dear, you may have to take my car to work tomorrow. And she's like, why? And I was like, well, because your car, which we commonly call in our house as a joke, a Lesbaru, it's a Subaru. And I don't know why we call it a Lesbaru, because it's funny. Her car actually sits quite a bit higher than mine. It's about 8 inches off of the ground where my car is much lower. It's a Chevy Malibu. Her car is also all-wheel drive. And depending on how tonight goes with contributions and stuff, I may leave for Florida tomorrow, sometime in the afternoon. I can't leave early because, well, I need sleep. And secondly, I got to package this bad boy and send this to whoever we choose from, that tonight. If you do make a contribution tonight via any one of these links, the Cash App link, the Venmo link, which are preferred, or PayPal, make sure you write which platform you watch on. Because not only are you going to get this Canon T8i with this lens, which is the 1855 lens, you're also going to get a ton of other lenses, a bunch of batteries, a bunch of stuff, because this camera, like many things, is not something that works for what I do. It's just one of those purchases, and I'm like, this will work for live streaming, and it doesn't. I don't take still photos. So that's what I'm doing. So, I told my wife that I will go to Florida, depending on how the night goes today, and if we make enough to, support that for 5 or 6 days. So we'll see. I got the bug to go down there and film, and not only that, I got the bug to go down there and see if I could be of assistance with anything when this does blow over. And she's like, why are you going to go into a hurricane if there's hurricane stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, by the time I get down there, it'll be done. It'll be already moving up. It'll be still strong, but I can film it and I could document it and all that stuff. So that's that. Do people still use cameras? Lots of people use cameras. Anywho, so you may see the title of this video, 5 children. Yes, I know. They were teenagers. 5 high schoolers were shot today around 4:30 p.m. while finishing up a football scrimmage at a high school in Philadelphia. A 14-year-old child was killed as a result of that, and the gunman fled in a green SUV, and they have not been caught from what I understand. That is just another thing. Like I'm not at like a breaking point, but I want yes, I am at a breaking point because everybody should care. Everybody should care about these kids. Everybody should care about the massive amount of mass shootings that we have across America. Most of the time you don't hear about it. You'll hear about this one. Maybe not on the leftist mainstream media because, again, it's not going to fit the agendas. It's not going to be a white shooter. It's not going to be a legal gun owner. It's not going to be someone that acquired the gun legally. They're not going to have racial motivation, based on the early, telltale signs. None of that is going to fit that narrative. But it's crazy. It truly, truly is crazy that every single day across America, young people are dying and mainstream media is seemingly oblivious. Now, I know Fox News, they put out an article 8 minutes after we put out the article, but Fox News did put out an article about this. And I know a number of outlets did. Why? Because this is children. Children, it should affect everyone. And when you couple that with the fact that Philadelphia has had a massive amount of crime in the past couple of days. In fact, Philadelphia today has been going off the chain with shootings and big third alarm fires and junkyards and all sorts of weird stuff happening. I think today they signed a bill or a law or a mayoral action to ban weapons from recreation places after a worker was shot. I believe that happened yesterday. And if just being in Philadelphia or paying attention to the news in Philadelphia every day, like if you do that, you would think that you would want to make it so people could carry guns everywhere legally, like legal gun owners, right? Because the sheer amount of gun crime in that city and is just outrageous. So many people die there every single day, every single week. So many people die. And a lot of times, like, yes, you'll hear about it on a Monday where they're like, Chicago had 37 shootings. Philadelphia had 17 shootings, this and this. Almost always we have mass shootings in Philadelphia. I guarantee if I go to gunviolencearchive.org, which I'll do right now, if I go to gunviolencearchive.org and I look at the mass shootings in the past week, obviously we have Philadelphia now. Harrisburg, can you count that as Philly? It's pretty close, but let's not. So you have Philadelphia 1 so far. Actually, so Philadelphia must have slowed down in terms of the shooting, in terms of mass shootings, that is. Because of the past 25 mass shootings, which doesn't take us very far, that's just roughly 11 days or 14 days, 2 weeks, 25 mass shootings in 2 weeks. That's America for you, right? Is this the America that everyone wants and everyone knows and loves, right? Where people go. There was a shooting victim of a high school shooting from California. She was shot and her friend died. She was shot in the stomach back in 2019. She posted something and I thought long and hard about my retweeting it, but her tweet was something else because it irritated me because this is so many people think just like this, which is crazy. I'm getting to the article. So sorry. It's this girl named Mia Toretta. And granted, she was shot in a school shooting. I can't even imagine what that would be like. It's my biggest fear. With my kids and my wife going to school every day, it's my biggest fear is that something like that is going to happen. I thought today, literally, I didn't even know about the shooting yet because I didn't even look at my phone while my son was having his football game. But as soon, right towards the end of the game, everyone was getting loud and rowdy because the game was a really tight game. They tied it because apparently they don't try to finish football games in middle school, but whatever, they tied. So it's not a loss for either of them. Yeah, participation awards. But I did. At one point I thought, I'm like, okay, so my wife is back there with the other kid. My son is there. Where am I going to go if something happens? I'm close enough. I'm in the front, and I was like, she would obviously, protect the little guy. I'm darting across the football field to help the other kid. That's the kind of thing that I think about being a dad. And maybe that's crazy. Maybe that's too much. Maybe I shouldn't think like that. But you never know. I mean, look at today, a high school football scrimmage and a 14-year-old lost his life. That's 2 years older than my child. Lost his life while, playing a game. It's insane. It's insane. And That's crazy. Someone had said, I have to work, but my husband and I were going to run up there at 6 minutes from home to finally meet Steve. Run up where? I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about the store. That's not where I am right now. The store, hopefully not this Friday, but next Friday we'll do our first free coffee Fridays. So if you're up there, you can go there. Someone said, what's sad is you have to think that way. Yeah, and I think everybody does. Most people do that. I've gone into places, obviously I can't carry on a school property. And so that's something. And luckily now with all the stuff that happens in schools, there's police officers all over the place, even with middle school. But it's just unnerving to me. It's unnerving. And then I get in my car and I get a text message, or I must have got a text message while I was, there. I didn't pay attention to it, but I had a text message talking about this shooting at the high school. And then, I saw we wrote an article on it and talked to April real quick about it. And then I'm like, this is fucking insane. These are children. It's not the only child that died today. There was a big police chase for a wanted guy that apparently kidnapped his 15-year-old daughter and killed his ex-wife, her mother, yesterday. Apparently he killed her and kidnapped the kid yesterday. And then they were on the lam. Police spotted them near San Bernardino, California. Police chase ensued until he pulled over and started shooting at police officers. I don't know if he pulled over, they stopped his car or what. There's some things that I just don't understand police tactics. Like, I don't understand, like, if there's a child in the car, why the fuck would you attempt to stop it? Why would you just engage it? Why would you shoot hundreds of rounds into the vehicle? What do you think's going to happen? Yeah, they killed him. They also killed her. And it hasn't come out whether the bullet that killed her or the bullets, came from the police or him. We don't know that. But I can only assume, like, if you are a police officer, is that your job? Well, I know it's your job. It's to stop the threat. But again, I would think about, like, if I was that kid's grandparent, like, isn't there anything else the police could do? Because now a 15-year-old there has lost her life. You got a 14-year-old here. And I'll be honest, all of these deaths are preventable. The deaths in Philadelphia are preventable. If police are allowed to do their job and allowed to go after these criminals, and people aren't afraid of getting arrested, and we make them afraid of getting arrested again, and the fact that they may have to serve a long time in jail, like indefinitely, I think that's a beautiful thing because it deters people from committing crimes, right? Right now, there's no deterrence for criminals in all these big cities across America. It doesn't matter about partisan politics or anything, even though the people that are not enforcing the crimes have to do with one political party for the most part. It's more of just like common sense. At some point, common sense has to kick in. I saw an article today that said, police or black people have a much higher rate of being falsely accused over crimes. You have to look at why that occurs. And you have to look at these things and understand that, yes, sometimes hard policing is in getting rid of racist cops and stuff like that has to happen. We have to get rid of racist cops across America. And I'm not going to be the guy that sits here and pretends that there aren't any, because there's racist people all over. So I'm not going to pretend there's no racist cops out there, because there are. There are bad cops just as there's good cops. But here's the thing. You can't stop crime without stopping it. You can't curb it when you tell people that they're allowed to and release them without bail. You can't curb it when, in the case of the guy that beat that woman up and she's going to lose her eye in New York City, you can't let someone out that killed their grandparents in 1990 don't ever let him out of jail. And yet they let him out. You could stop mass shootings in Las Vegas where the guy shot 5 people before people finally got him under control. If you just locked up people and didn't let them back out onto the streets, there's so many instances where you could actually save lives, but instead they want to go after guns, like this lady in California. She said, a gun killed my best friend. A gun left a scar on my stomach and part of a bullet inside me. A gun traumatized my school. It's the guns in capital letters. Vote for your kid. Vote like your kid, wrote this tweet. The person wrote, because she's now an anti-gun nut. And maybe rightfully so. She was shot by by a kid, a junior in high school, that was illegally possessing a gun in California, one of the restrictive states, most restrictive states in the country, and was possessing a gun that was illegal. That's the thing. It wasn't like, okay, you can restrict guns. He had a gun that was illegal already. In 2016, the state of California passed a law that a gun that is homemade, a ghost gun, as they're called now, had to be registered. Otherwise, it was an illegal firearm, and he was not permitted to have it. He was a minor. No one talks about the fact that this shit is going on in a real way. They're like, oh, ban the guns. It's the gun's fault. No, and if you want to blame the gun, at least blame the thing that hit you. The gun didn't go in your stomach. It was a bullet. So you should say, well, the bullet is technically responsible for your injuries. If you're going to blame it on a material object instead of the person that's controlling that and figuring out why people are doing this kind of things. You know, it's insane. It really is. It's insane. Someone said the real question is, why would any man kill his ex-wife and kidnap their own child when he knows that he'll get caught or die? Why would that person take the life of the mother knowing that the child will eventually grow up hating the father? Because people are stupid. We have a problem with mental health in this country. That's what it is. People are dumb. It's not even dumb. People are mentally challenged. People would, kidnap their kids and harm their wives and harm kids and harm women and children and men and everybody because they're mentally challenged. And I don't have the answers for that. I don't have the answers for why that even occurred. But I know that, like, I can honestly say that if I was a police officer and I know that there's a child in the car, I don't think I would have unloaded like these officers did. And there's videos on social media where you can hear how many rounds, hundreds of rounds were fired in between these people. They said it was a shootout. Hundreds of rounds were fired. The majority of them came from police. I just can't imagine. Like, why wouldn't you just stop? Okay, the car's out of commission. The guy's not going to go. Call your fucking snipers. Back the shit up so you're not at risk of block the highways. And you know what I mean? Like at least give the kid a chance, because the kid doesn't have the chance if you're unloading hundreds of rounds into the vehicle. They just don't. And I don't understand some things like that. For the life of me. I don't understand how someone can make that choice. But then again, I'm not in the situation, so I know how. I have no idea. But I would love to be able to understand. I would love to understand the rationale, or interview one of those cops that had to make that decision, or someone that has made that decision before, and understand, because I could get that there may have been other circumstances. Like the guy may have been trying to carjack someone else. You already know he killed someone. He has no fear of dying, right? In that regard. So I don't know. And it sucks for me to be criticizing police in this choice, but a 15-year-old is dead. We have a responsibility, or public servants have a responsibility to protect the innocent, not kill them. And again, we don't even know if it was a police bullet that killed this kid. I can only assume it was, because I watched the video and I listened to the amount of gunfire. I can only assume it was. They probably looked like Swiss cheese, no joke, because the amount of gunfire that was fired at these vehicles. But we have, every single mass shooting, when I do it on Mass Shooting Mondays, I should just call it that. When we do our mass shooting report every Monday, every week we report about mass shootings where children are present. That illegal immigrant that had been deported 7 times previously for kidnapping and torturing people over a meth deal, that guy that I talked about yesterday in the mass shooting report, and I put out a separate article about him, that guy, he shot someone in the chest. It directly in front of kids. There were kids at that party, over 100 people, including several, maybe a dozen or so children. And it didn't stop him. It doesn't stop people. And you can make the argument that you're mentally challenged, and that's why it doesn't stop you. I have no idea. But why let someone out? If we already have that person in custody, and that's, everyone talks about sanctuary cities and whether they're good or bad. They provide opportunity. No, but what they do, they provide opportunity. I will give you that about sanctuary cities. They provide opportunity for people to victimize children. They provide opportunity for the good law-abiding citizens, or not citizens, the law-abiding illegal people that are breaking the law by being here. But they also provide opportunity for people like that. The guy that was off judicial restraint, even though he was here illegally, they apparently let him out of jail, where he grabbed an illegal gun because he was already barred from owning a gun, grabbed a gun, walked up and killed people and shot people. He didn't kill anyone in that instance. And it's crazy. Someone said the problem, the view we are giving these shooters is taking a life with a gun, get an education in prison for free, and a career after you are paroled. Yeah, because that's the craziest thing too, is some of these people that go out and do these murders, they go into jail for 15, 20 years, right? Take, for example, the guy that boot stomped that girl on the subway train in New York City. That guy, I don't know when he got out of jail, but I know he killed his grandmother, right? In 1990s or in the 90s. I don't know when exactly it was, but he killed his grandmother. He gets out of jail eventually. He's still, obviously, he's not rehabilitated, because he just viciously beat this woman, curb stomping her. And then that little cowardly guy in the red that tries to stop and gets scared and runs away. And then the guy proceeds to continue to beat this woman. Why not put them away like forever? If they kill someone, why are we doing 20 years to life? No, why don't we just lock them up forever for the rest of their lives? They committed a crime, the worst possible crime. It's literally in the commandments: thou shalt not kill. It's a crime. Why are we allowing them out of jail? Why don't we make it? Because here's the thing: if people think they're going to get off on these crimes, they're not going to hesitate to do them. We see that. You have people in Los Angeles, gangbangers, that are tattooing the Gascon's name on them because they feel like he's almost like a god. He's releasing them from jail after committing heinous crimes or getting caught with firearms and stuff. Across America, this happens all the time. And it's insane. It truly is. The more you think about it, and you know what? Tomorrow, if not tomorrow, the next day, children are going to die across America. And everyone's going to be like, we need to take the guns off of the streets. But they're not talking about the illegal guns. You know how you take illegal guns off the streets? Remove the clientele, right? Because if there's no demand for it, because people aren't buying them, the supply is going to crumble, right? Because there's not going to be anybody to purchase the guns. Why? Because they're in jail. When someone commits a crime, they get caught with meth, lock them up. I have no problem paying taxes for people that should be in jail to actually be in jail. Is that the major complaint? But no, they send our $40 billion worth of, $65 billion now to Ukraine to fight a war that we're all going to be fighting in a couple of years, if not even a couple of years. With whatever happened with the Nord Stream pipeline, and if the Biden administration actually followed through on one promise and bombed that shit this morning, because apparently all of our allies think we did. I just don't know why we don't spend some of the funds on things in America that could actually help us. Do you know what I mean? Things that could better us, right? Like a lot of people said, stop and frisk works. Yeah, but it was racist, right? Because they were stopping people randomly and frisking them. And the people that they were stopping were disproportionately black. And it turns out that because they would be disproportionately caught with weapons. I know it's very confusing how that works, right? It's kind of like generalizing one group of people as everybody that aligns with even in ideology. That's not a good analogy, but I was trying to connect it to MAGA, right? Because everyone's like, MAGA, you're a MAGA Republican. If you believe that 23 years for a guy who committed nonviolent crimes walking through open doors into the Capitol is wrong, then you're just a MAGA extremist. Because that's apparently what happened today. This guy, I forgot what his name is, a January 6th rioter, was caught inside the Capitol. Inside the Capitol. He walked through open doors. They have him on surveillance video. Walking through the open doors. No allegations, not charged with assaulting police, nothing like that. Nope, 4 misdemeanor charges, 1 felony. He was found guilty on all charges by a federal jury today and now faces 23 years in prison. 23 years in prison for trespassing through open doors. It is the most insane fucking shit. And I don't care where you align with politically. I don't care whether you believe that all the January 6th rioters are insurrectionists. I guarantee you, there's no way that you could say you were on the left, right? And you believe that people are like all the people that are caught with pot, right? They're locked up for 20 years and everyone's been championing for their freedom forever, rightfully so. And then they're cheering on the fact that this guy is facing 23 years. And we're not talking about people that assaulted, I'm not talking about the guy that assaulted the cops or anything like that. No, this guy didn't assault any cops. He wasn't charged with assaulting any cops. He was charged with the felony was obstructing a governmental proceeding, which is a standard charge that they've been giving everybody. And then 4 misdemeanors for parading and stuff like that, protesting on Capitol grounds. The 4 misdemeanors, the same charges everybody else got. You know what I feel like? This is going to be a deterrent to anybody else that may have a case pending that's like, I am going to take my chances. There still must be good Americans left on a jury. This is going to show that, no, there aren't any good Americans left on a jury in D.C. And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I can understand like if he took a baseball bat to a police officer or something like that, but I cannot understand this at all. I can't understand how someone can get 23 years potential. He hasn't been sentenced. He gets sentenced in January. He's been found guilty by a jury, but he gets sentenced in January. That felony has a maximum sentence of 20 years, and then all the misdemeanors combined are 3.5 years. Which is insane. It's insane. And his co-defendant, the person that he went to the Capitol with, took a plea deal, got 60 days behind bar and a year of judicial restraint. Like, that's the craziest thing when you think about it. You know? I don't think it has anything to do with race or anything like that with this guy. No, I think it has to do with politics. I think it has to do with politics. I don't know who the fuck this is. Oh, yeah, I do. I don't know why they're texting me when I'm live. He probably isn't watching, but it's absolutely crazy, man. Everything, it's just crazy. The life in general is just crazy right now. Do you know what I mean? Someone said it's grounds for an appeal. Yeah, I get that. Could be grounds for an appeal. But, I mean, they're going after conservatives. We know that. And granted, the guy made a mistake. He made a mistake by entering the Capitol. Let's not pretend he didn't. He made a mistake by entering a Capitol. But he didn't climb through a broken window. It literally says it in the document. Like, listen, this is the document. This is the document right here. That's not it. This one. It's going to switch eventually. See? This is the actual press release. Issued today. A Florida man was found guilty in the District of Columbia today of felony and misdemeanor charges for his actions during the January 6th Capitol breach. His actions and the actions of others disrupted a joint session of Congress. His name is John Strand, 39, of Naples, Florida. He was found guilty by a jury on a total of 5 offenses. According to and listen to what he did. Okay, listen to what he did. According to government evidence, on January 6th, he and a co-defendant named Simone Gold, Dr. Gold, she's on Twitter a lot. I guess she's famous. I've never heard of her before this. I've seen her post, but I've never heard of her. She marched with a mob, or they marched with a mob from the rally near the Ellipse, where Donald Trump was speaking, to the U.S. Capitol, where they illegally entered the grounds. They made their way to the east side of the Capitol, where rioters broke through a defensive line. See, it doesn't say where they broke through. It says where rioters broke through. Strand and Gold made their way up the stairs into the East Rotunda doors. There was part of a mob outside of the doors for approximately 20 minutes, starting shortly before 2 p.m. A mob inside the Capitol, meanwhile, opened the East Rotunda doors from the inside. We've seen those. Those are the magnetic locks. What I don't understand is this a door where there were the lines of the Capitol Police lined up inside? I would be very curious. Remember, we've seen the video where the Capitol Police officers, like, you don't need to agree with it, but you must respect it. As everyone's walking by, they're shaking hands and stuff like that. All the people are thanking him for their service. That video does exist, even though it's been heavily shadow banned. But I don't know if that's this entrance. And please don't say it is this entrance unless you actually know. But Strand and Gold moved inside the Capitol approximately 2:27 p.m. Okay, so that means after the doors were opened, they entered the Capitol, going directly toward the House chamber. A line of police blocked a group gathered there entering the House chamber where members were still inside. At approximately 2:35 p.m., Strand and Gold were near the front of this group and joined the mob in pushing past the officers. Keep in mind, neither of them were charged with any sort of violence towards police officers. No one would, or it said, pushing past the officers, injuring one, or including one who was injured during the surge. The group was forced to leave that area approximately 2:53 p.m. Before leaving the Capitol, Strand and Gold stopped at Statuary Hall, where Gold delivered a speech acknowledging that the rioters were in the Capitol to stop the certification. which doesn't make any sense. So I would like to talk to Gold and ask, why would you even say that? Because that doesn't benefit Donald Trump. If you were there to benefit Donald Trump, stopping the certification did not do that. It literally, if you are a doctor, right? So if you were someone, and I'm guessing she's like an educator or something. If she was an educator, you would think that she's intelligent, right? How would you think that causing a riot or participating at a riot at the Capitol would help Donald Trump when he wanted the objections cast on the electorate? It doesn't make any sense. The only people that makes sense to are Democrats. It's freaking insane. But whatever. Before leaving the Capitol, Strand and Gold stopped at Statutory Hall where she delivered the speech. They were directed out of the area and moved to the Rotunda, where she again gave a speech, this time criticizing COVID lockdowns, apparently. They left the building at 3:16 p.m. Gold pled guilty in March of 2022 to entering and remaining in a restricted building or ground. She was sentenced on June 16th, 2022 to 60 days in jail, followed by 12-month supervised release. I don't know what kind of privilege that is, but that's some sort of privilege. He was charged with these. How come she wasn't charged with the same charges he was? Or maybe she just took a plea deal and they dropped 4 of the 5 charges. I have no idea. Strand was found guilty on a felony charge of obstruction of official proceeding, as well as misdemeanor offenses for entering and remaining in a restricted building or grounds, which is what she pled guilty to and got 60 days in jail, followed by 12-month supervised release. Disorderly, disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly conduct in a Capitol building, and parading, demonstrating, or picketing inside the Capitol building. Strand is going to be sentenced on January 12th, 2023. The felony charge carries a statutory maximum of 20 years in prison and potential financial penalties. The 4 misdemeanor offenses carry a combined statutory minimum of 3 years incarceration and potential penalties. The court will determine any sentence in considering the U.S. sentencing guidelines and a bunch of other things. And then they go on to thank everybody else for doing their investigation, which is just insane. 23 years. This guy faces 23 years. 23 years for nonviolent walking into a building. Granted, it's a crime. Like, if you want to charge him, give him a couple of years for doing it. I get that, right? And I don't agree with it, but I get it. Do I believe that something should happen? Yeah, because he wasn't smart enough to say, I shouldn't go in here while it's a declared riot outside. That's just my rationale. That's my way of thinking there. But does he deserve multiple years in jail? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it's just outrageous. Because again, he didn't assault cops or anything like that. You asked me this question and add a charge of beating a police officer with a blunt object. No, I'm going to say, fuck it, lock him up forever. That's my truth. That's who I am. That's why I can't back a lot of what's going on with the J6, protests and stuff out there. Because my belief is that if you physically assault a police officer, you are not a good person. You know what I mean? If you physically and maliciously attack a police officer, you're not a good person. We're not talking about the people that tried to stop the female cop from beating on Roseanne Boylan. We're not talking about that guy, although he has been charged with those crimes as well. We're talking about the other instances where they maced him and shit like that, and we know it happened. So let's not pretend it didn't happen. And you can't say they were all attacked first because we watched it live. I know what happened. But the whole thing is just fucking nuts, and just how politicized our country has become. You literally had questions like that today in the White House press conference where they were questioning Karine Jean-Pierre about this hurricane in Florida and about the handling, and saying, why hasn't President Biden called the governor? What the fuck is the governor going to talk to what the hell is President Biden going to talk to the governor about? The governor is focused, as he's always been, about solving the issues in that state. If I was DeSantis, and they said Joe Biden's calling, I would have been like, why? Like, have his assistants, have the FEMA people call me. I don't need to talk to some guy that has no control of his own faculties. But mainstream media was like, oh, President Biden's called other people when natural disasters. How? Because he hasn't called Florida. Like, Governor DeSantis literally talked highly of the federal response to the hurricane. The media needs that narrative. And I tell you what, if even one person dies and they deem that it may have been possible to prevent that death as it relates to this, they are going to hammer DeSantis. If there's any sort of, power hiccups, or they can't get FEMA trailers in there, or generators running, or something goes wrong, a levee breaks or whatever, they are going to attack DeSantis with a fury that you've never seen. Mark my words on that. It doesn't even matter. There'll be a picture of a guy shitting in a street, and they will criticize DeSantis for it, for not having, if there's looting or something, which happens at every fucking hurricane in Florida. They're going to go nuts. And you know it just as well as I do, because they need to. They need to. He's the villain now. He's the one that sent the migrants to Martha's Vineyard. He's the one that's the outspoken contender. When they compare whether Donald Trump's going to run or versus someone else going to run, it's him. So they need to take him down a few notches. If he handles this well, it's game over for Donald Trump, if you ask me personally. If DeSantis handles this well, the way that many believe he will, the way that previous governors have, even though they may not have been the best governors, the way they've handled the hurricanes there have been good, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. And when I say Trump is done, one, because I believe that DeSantis, if he did choose to run after all that, he'll win. Secondly, because the media will be like, okay, who's worse? Do you know what I mean? The media is deemed Trump enemy of the state. We know that. But fucking the president of the United States now has said that MAGA Republicans are the enemy of this country. So you would think the logical explanation is kind of what Democrats are doing in some jurisdictions now, trying to put forth and put money behind MAGA candidates because they want to face them, because they can run on that narrative. I got a feeling that if DeSantis does really well with this hurricane, right? And say after the midterms, because my projection, this is what I believe is going to happen. Okay. This is what I believe is going to happen. And this is a crazy one for you. Oh yeah. By the way, before I get into that major prediction, let me tell you, if we do really well tonight in terms of Cash Apps and Venmos and PayPals and contributions on Citizen Stringer, or just visiting citizenstringer.com/support and pay with a credit card there. If we do really well, like when I say really well, like last night, really well, like, we are a couple $100 away from being able to pay what we needed to pay because of last night. And then what happened earlier today too. So that's great. But if I make like $1,500 or something, I know it's a big number and you're probably like, what the fuck? But gas going down, a place to shower, money to be able to provide support to people. I will be leaving for Florida tomorrow with cameras, and to do that if we do really well. But there's also something in it for you. And this is kind of crazy. So I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. So this doesn't have anything to do. It's not a giveaway, okay? I'm just randomly selecting a person at the end of the day that makes a contribution. That's why it's important. If you send a Cash App, a Venmo, or a PayPal, or you're on Citizen Stringer, I could see that you did it on Citizen Stringer, so you don't have to worry about it. But you can send a message too if you want. Actually, it makes it easier. So send the message and say that you watch on Citizen Stringer, unless you pay right on Citizen Stringer. But send a message with that payment saying what platform you watch on. So if you're watching on Facebook and you send a Cash App, when you type in how much you're going to send, like when you say, I'll send Steve $500 because you're super nice, Kathy. Yeah. Thank you so much. When you do that, I see that where you are, and then I can contact you. So like last night, the laptop, I went to reach for it, but I already shipped it out. The laptop, Emily won the laptop last night. Didn't win it. She was the one I picked randomly. Again, IRS. I see what you're saying. It was a very good laptop, right? I made sure I got it out really quick to her because it's her son's birthday on Friday and she's going to give it to him. And I was like, perfect. So I wiped it and it's fresh. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be first thing. You're going to get a shipping notice bright and early because this one's going to be a lot easier to pack. This is going out to someone. This is a Canon Rebel T8i. I think it's the newest Canon Rebel they have. It's an internet connected one, so you can use your smartphone. You can manually update. The reason I bought this is because I watched the YouTube video where they're like, hey, buy a camera. And I heard Canon, and I was like, okay, this is what it was. But it wasn't this camera. It was a different one. Because this one, when you have it on the dummy power, which you'll get as well, because I have it. When you have it on dummy power, it was supposed to stay like on for over 30 minutes. My show is an hour and a half. So I needed the camera to be on for over 30 minutes. Well, guess what? This one shuts off after 30 minutes and there's no way to get it to stay on longer. It shuts off. It's not made for video. It's made for photos. So it's essentially dead to me. It's dead to me because I don't take photos. If I do take photos, I take it with a big Canon that I use the video camera because it has, high def pictures and all that anyway. So I was going to sell it and I was like, why not just do this? So like Emily last night, the laptop was worth a lot of money. Emily got that. I think she did a $20 Venmo. No joke. And that's the truth. And after she gets it, she could post whatever she wants and confirm. And I don't do this much and I'm not doing it ever again, probably. But this laptop, this camera, it's a great way for me to sell the piece of equipment that I'm not using. Secondly, it's a great way for you guys to get something for super cheap. And I just randomly pick it after and I send you a notice on whatever platform. If you send it on Venmo, I just figured out I can send you a message back on Venmo and then you can send me your address and all that. And then I tell everyone on every platform. But so that's all you got to do. And it doesn't matter. You could send a $500 one. You could send a $5 one. It doesn't even matter because I don't check the amount, unless it's super big and then I see it, but I don't check the amount. And it's just, I just randomly pick. I literally put all your names up on the screen and then kind of move my mouse around like this for like a while. And then boom, that's it. That's how I picked Emily last night. I don't, I was like, damn, at least it could have went to a yeeter, or something. I did think that to myself because the first thing I did is I checked Citizen Stringer to see if she was a member and she wasn't. And then, but hopefully she will be now. But yeah, that's that's what it was. Someone said, I'm not sure why he keeps saying Emily. My name is dumbass. Yeah, it wasn't you that won though. Wasn't it Emily? See, now you're making me question myself. I think it was Emily. What other 5-letter is it? Nah, whatever. I'm going to check later. I think it was Emily. I sent it. You sent me your address on Facebook. I know it. Watch. Now you're making me look. Stacy E. Not Emily at all. Maybe your last name because it's five letters. And so I was thinking that was your first name. No, Stacy won. And she already has a tracking number too. So she knows she won and she knows it's already been dropped off at UPS. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. So yeah. And I'm not doing the randomizer or anything like that because I can't. Because I don't want anybody to get confused. You're not sending a super chat for a chance to win this computer or this camera. No, you're sending a super chat because you want to support our channel. And I'm just selecting one person at random to give this camera that I've had lying around here for like 3 months since I bought it. But that's what we're doing. And like I said, if I do good, if we get a couple of big ones like Kathy last night, hint, hint, a couple of those really, big Cash Apps, Venmos, essentially if I make like $1,500, then I am planning on taking my wife's car down to Florida because I don't want to ruin my car. So I'll take her car down to Florida. Like I said, it's all-wheel drive. It sits up higher and everything. So if any of you guys, really want to see some footage of Florida and all that stuff, or potentially, here's another thing. If some of you guys live in Florida or close by, we can all get together and, help people while we're down there. So that's something that we can all think about. But that's where I'll be. So my rationale behind the DeSantis and Trump thing, right? Because I know a bunch of you guys were probably like, what the hell is Steve talking about here? Saying if Ron DeSantis does really well with the hurricane, that the media is just going to let him go. No, what I think is going to happen if Ron DeSantis does really well with the handling of the hurricane and all the shit that happens after this hurricane, I think what's going to end up happening is that they are going to go super heavy into Trump criticism, like super heavy into Trump criticism after the midterms, not before. They're going to continue doing the shit they're doing now. But after the midterms, they're going to go super heavy into Trump. So more people call for Donald Trump to get for DeSantis to run for office, because then they can use some of his extreme stuff. And it's because here's the thing, Donald Trump, no matter what, and I say it when I go to every single rally, it's just different. It makes you feel good. The guy is like truly a regular person with all his faults, just like everybody else. I fear he's becoming a politician. Some of the endorsements I just don't get. The JD Vance endorsement, I just don't get it. I guess he changed, but it still makes me question, his integrity. The Dr. Oz endorsement, I just don't get. I think he bet. It was like betting on a horse. He doesn't believe the horse, but he thinks the horse may, have gotten a shot of steroids in his butt, so he may be faster than the other one. You know what I mean? Or someone that just bets on a horse race because they just want to win money. They don't actually care about the horse race. Do people care about horses in the horse races, or do they just care about money? That may not have been the best analogy, but you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say is that I firmly believe that they will say, okay, which one will be easier to dissuade people from voting for? You can already see from Trump's rallies now, even after the Mar-a-Lago stuff, even after the January 6th hearings, even after, he still will turn thousands of people, tens of thousands of people at these rallies all across America. It's insane that so many people will go to these rallies, and so many people will sit there for hours and listen to a variation of the same speech every single week, that tens of thousands of people will tune in on social media to watch it. The guy, no matter how much the left tries, he still is garnishing that attention from citizens that the left just can't figure. They don't know why. So, and they've tried everything. The left has tried to alienate everybody. They've tried to do everything that they possibly can. My firm belief that if the midterms go the way they're going now, or the way we all hope they're going to go, where we're going to have a red wave, and if that truly does happen, my way of thinking is that the media is going to go super hard on Donald Trump, and they're going to start singing praises of DeSantis. They're going to be like, well, DeSantis did this, but look at how he handled the hurricane. Hurricane Ian, it was barreling down. He mobilized everything. He's a great leader. Trump, on the other hand, blah, 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 January 6th. But DeSantis, yeah, he did shit people. You know what I mean? The same thing they're doing now by putting money behind MAGA candidates so they don't, against other regular conservatives, I guess. They're doing that now. They're literally putting money behind MAGA candidates, or they were for the midterms, because they would feel, when a MAGA candidate was facing off with a regular conservative, they were putting money behind the MAGA candidates because they figured that MAGA candidate would be easier to beat in the primaries. It's like hedging a bet, right? So I think the same thing. They're going to do that, and then they're going to hope that they can dissuade people from voting for Donald Trump, because no matter what, I firmly believe the hatred for Donald Trump trumps the hatred for America. The hatred for Donald Trump is it's laser focused into some of these people. It doesn't matter. So imagine if, and I'm not saying DeSantis would do this, but imagine if DeSantis did say, you know what, I'm going to run for president, right? If DeSantis did say that, and then he made a disparaging comment about Donald Trump, or he made a criticism about Donald Trump and his handling of January 6th, or whatever the case may be, or anything really. Just one disparaging thing. He's going to turn those people that are right now, that are on the fence, that are like, you know what, I don't like Donald Trump, but Joe Biden is killing us. All of those people are going to go running to DeSantis, right? And part of my belief is that DeSantis, while he is a politician and he's held public office and all that stuff, he still seems to, and he's been that way for a long time, he seems like he is more real than a lot of people. You know what I mean? Whereas Donald Trump, he's still real, but I worry that Donald Trump is a politician now. I worry that he's more, and I said this at one of the Trump rallies, and I'm like, listen, I want to run a hypothetical, right? Say the midterms go, Donald Trump has all this thing. He says he's going to make a huge fucking announcement, right? He holds a mega rally. There's going to be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people there, thousands of people watching. Mainstream media's going crazy. He's fundraising like crazy for the Save America PAC, all that stuff, right? And then he gets up there and he's like, he does his whole speech. And then he's like, I have an announcement. And everyone's like, oh, this is it. He's going to announce right now. This is it. This is it. And then he goes, I'm going to endorse Ron DeSantis for president 2024. Can you imagine if he did that? And I'll be honest, that's what should happen. If DeSantis wants to run, that's what should happen. You know why? Because that is going to take the whole thing. They are literally trying to pass laws right now. The election thing, Ted Cruz was the only senator today in the Judiciary Committee that didn't vote or that voted no for this Election Reform Act, whatever, where they're literally changing the laws here in the United States. Now they want more people to object, so it's not one Republican, one senator, one congressman. Now they want 4 of each, I believe, to object. They want to do something with the electorate. They want to firm up the popular vote. All this weird shit. Senator Ted Cruz was the only one that voted no to that today. And I'll be honest, I don't even think they would continue pushing that kind of shit if they didn't think Donald Trump wasn't going to run. I think if Donald Trump was to say, I endorse, because here's the thing, Donald Trump is the most powerful conservative, MAGA conservative, Make America First, whatever you want to call it. He's the most popular politician in America right now, because no matter what, you have the people that love him, like in our chat, I see it right now. You also have the people that hate him. If Donald Trump says that he's not going to run, he just made the fucking day for all of those people that have been saying he's going to run, he's going to run, he's going to run. He's still going to have hundreds of millions of dollars in this super PAC where he can invest. He's got a huge track record of endorsing people, and people vie for him. He's still going to have that power. In fact, he'll probably have more power if he announces that he's not going to run. And then if he threw his name behind someone like DeSantis, I think fucking liberal heads would explode. I really do. I really do. Because here's one of my, he would never endorse Pence, but here's one of my rationales of why I personally hope something like that does happen. Because I know from Donald Trump being in office from 2017 to 2021, you would be hard pressed right now off of besides the basic like economy, gas prices, jobs, blah, blah, blah. You'd be hard pressed to name one policy that Donald Trump put in office. You know, like one law, one thing he stood by and did. You'd be hard pressed to think about it. And I know that. And even us people, you know, conservatives, whatever, that value his policies, everybody, and I am too, you know, I can think about it because we research this shit 27, you know, all the time, 24/7. But you'd be hard pressed to think about, you know, actual policies because the media has been so inundated with bullshit. Russiagate, this, calls with Ukraine, all of it. It's so hard for people to actually determine what he did. His Twitter, oh my God. You know, he almost broke Twitter yesterday with the announcement that, you know, Twitter may allow him back onto their platform. Like, think about it just for a second. If he decided that or said publicly that he was not running for office and that he was endorsing someone else or putting his support, he doesn't even need to endorse. Say, I'm putting my support behind this person, you know, and say, he could say, I'm not endorsing him yet because it's too early. Can you imagine what's going to fucking happen? It would be the biggest, because right now, let's be honest, you do have conservatives that just didn't like Donald Trump and voted the opposite way or didn't vote. We all know that transpired. And now, even since with the January 6th thing, there's some conservatives, people that call themselves conservatives, that just can't get beyond that. For them, they're stuck in what the media is portraying as January 6th versus what was reality, and that's all they see. And they believe that Donald Trump could have called it off. They believe that Donald Trump incited that mob, even though, you know, when you actually look into it, you know it didn't happen. There's some people that can't do that, you know. And my worry is that if he was to run, I believe he'll win. I believe if he ran, he would win, and I believe if he endorsed someone, that person is guaranteed to win. But I also believe that if Donald Trump did win again and served a third term, that we would never actually be able to get anything done in this country. It would be worse than what it was for the first 4 years. They'd be trying to impeach him. They'd be, you know, going through his shit, you know, literally with tweezers, going through his poop every morning, trying to find something. Every single time the guy's, you know, flipped out because Russia did something stupid and he said something or threw a hamburger at the wall, it would be documented, filmed, and there'd be, you know, investigations. All the Democrats and the FBI and all these complexes, they'd be going hard after any of his supporters. I almost would say it would be better And we would get more done for America if we had a candidate that he endorsed, that he supported, and threw his support behind. I think that person would be unstoppable, to be honest. I think it would be like they would just be like, I'm not running. And meaning everybody else would be like, I'm not running, Democrats included. Because think about it. If you that would unify the base. That would unify the base, the conservatives, because we have the far right and then constitutional conservatives and Christian conservatives and this and that and this and that, 1776ers, not the, pedophile movement people, the other, just the people that believe in this country, right? It would unify all of them because there's so, Donald Trump is so marginalized that I think the only way for this to unify this party and not allow the Democrats to further drive wedges down the middle would be to do something like that. It'd be interesting. Someone said if we take the House and Senate, Trump can do his job. But no, because we had the House and Senate, didn't we, in the first part of his election or first part of his year? I believe. I don't know. Didn't we? In 2017 until the midterms then? Didn't we? And even if we didn't, I don't believe, because then they're going to use all this. Like, how much more do we have to go through? How much more do we want to go through of this fake Russiagate shit? Like, now they'll spur investigations into the previous 4 years. The 4 years he wasn't in office. They'll dig up everything. Remember that one day at Mar-a-Lago where he was playing golf? Well, he took a poop, and we analyzed that poop, and we wrote 5 full length documentary movies about it. I don't want to hear it anymore. I want people to actually care about America. And if you remove those distractions, maybe we'll be in a better place. Or I could be talking out my ass. You know what I mean? I don't know. Because I would vote for him. Do you know what I mean? If he announced today, I would vote for him. Just as I did the previous 2 times. That's just who I am and what I believe in. But if he threw his endorsement behind Ron DeSantis, I'd vote for DeSantis 100%. That's my truth. That's what I believe, and I know a lot of you guys just want him to run, because it just, you'll be like, well, he'll come in with a vengeance. He'll do investigations and all this stuff. Yeah. That's going to happen no matter what. That's going to happen no matter what. If we have a red wave in November, the Democrats are going to be very scared of what a conservative majority is going to do. If the House and the Senate, Congress and Senate are both taken over and we have the majority, there's going to be not a lot of laws are going to get passed. But President Biden's going to veto shit left and right. But here's the thing. We're going to find out a lot about what happened over the past 6 years. We're going to have a real January 6th hearing. I'm quite sure. We're going to have real hearings into the FBI where we can question why they used 25 to 30 SWAT agents to break in the door of a nonviolent person. We're going to learn a lot of this stuff. That's my belief. And it will happen with Donald Trump as well. But I think about for the betterment of the country. Do you know what I mean? And not to say it would be better without him being president. I don't think that either. But I think we'd be better. I think people would be able to focus on America again. Maybe that should be a slogan. Focus on America again. Because I think a lot of it now is we're focusing on a person. Whether you hate him or love him, you're focusing on a person. We do it now with Biden all the time. Biden is a figurehead of the current administration. So that's who we pick. That's who everyone does it. The guy walks around, shaking hands with shadow ghosts and everyone's like, oh, it's crazy. And the left apologizes for it. That, the left, in the administration pretend like there's nothing going on. There's no crime issues, nothing. And that's what we do. We just blame the figurehead. And I guess that's what we're supposed to do. If things go wrong, you blame that person. But unless you're in the Biden administration, then you blame everybody else. So, I don't know. It's weird. Someone said, no one has the ball sack of Trump. That's weird to hear a woman say that. And no, I'm not being sexist or anything. It is. It's just an awkward phrase for a woman to say. Because personally, I don't like to talk about ball sacks. I think it's a little weird. And secondly, certainly don't want to think about Donald Trump's. It's certainly not Joe Biden's. I almost got a visual. That Adam Sandler movie where it's like Big Daddy or something like that, where his girlfriend leaves him. She's the one that always wears the white tank top, and she gets with an old dude. And Adam Sandler's like, you just go ahead, you and your new guy with his old balls. I know I went on a I went on a tangent there, but didn't I just make all of you guys visualize that? I win. But so bad. Oh man, so bad. Anyway, tonight we're also doing something. All right, if you do a Cash Apps or Venmos and anything like that, Kathy, thank you so much. Kathy wants me to go. She wants me to go to Florida. So basically, what I'm using this money for is I'm still just a couple $100 short of getting all the requirements of being a business owner. Getting a couple $100 short because I spend entirely too much on the K-Cup machines and all that. But I'm also going to head to Florida, depending on how well I do today. I'll be honest, I got to make like $1,500 in order to support for 5 or 6 days down there. But if you send Cash Apps, you send Venmos, you send PayPals, make sure you put your where you're from. If you're watching this on Facebook, write Facebook in the comments. If you're watching this on Twitch, please write Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, write YouTube, because then afterwards, I'm going to notify one of you guys that I'm giving you this beautiful Canon EOS T8i. It's a Canon Rebel. And you can look it up. It's an inexpensive camera. I don't use it. I bought it less than a year ago from Best Buy. And I bought a bunch of other lenses and stuff for it, thinking that I could use it as a stationary camera, similar to this one, to do the live stream, except it shuts off after 30 minutes and there's no way to keep it on. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it away. So I'm going to just randomly pick one person tonight, just like yesterday. What was it? Sarah made a $20 Cash App. She was the one I chose randomly. She got like a very expensive gaming laptop that I had lying around here. And I don't do this that much this way. It is a relatively good idea, but I don't do it that much. So if you want to do that, plus you'll be able to start watching. I'll live stream all the way down to fucking Florida if we meet this goal today. So let me know. We'll see. One of you guys is still getting a camera by the end of the day. It's going to be cool. Anybody he endorses will suffer the same fate, only we will have to start over proving their innocence. No, that's not true. That's not true, because especially if he endorses a nobody, like someone that's never run for office, then yes, because then you're going to be like, well, that person doesn't have anything. But if he endorses someone like DeSantis, when you actually look at DeSantis's record as a politician, it's a good record. Even though I disagree with how he sent people to Martha's Vineyard and shit like that, I get it, and other people do as well. Other people agree with it, think it was beautiful. I don't. But that's my choice. I think he should have sent him to Boston or like Cambridge or something like that. Not Martha's Vineyard. It's an island. That's just my choice. But many of you guys are doing that now, and make sure you're putting on the Cash App or the Venmo or the PayPal, just type where you watch it. All of those platforms you can send a message. And on Citizen Stringer, when you do the little super yeets on citizenstringer.tv, you don't need to like say where you are, because I see it there, because I get the list of invoices when you guys do it there, and I appreciate that as well. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting to see what's happened. Someone said venmo.com/support. What are you doing? I'm not doing anything wrong. Okay. Who is the Larry? Why do you put what's this comment for? Because for one, that's not my Venmo. That's where you'd like report something. And I'm not doing anything wrong. Are you saying, because I'm using Venmo and I'm a conservative, that I shouldn't do it? Is that your point? That Venmo should try to ban me because I'm a conservative? They're not going to. They already tried, and we won that one. Everybody's tried. PayPal, Stripe, they've all tried it. And you know what? We win. And that's the thing. So I win. And I don't know if that's what your intention, but I don't know why you put that there. If you're looking for the links for Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, they're actually in the description of this video as well, to make it super easy for you. I'm curious, Larry, is that why you put it up there, for people to try to report me? Because I covered the riots. I was the only rational speaker that covered the riots for months and months and months. Yeah, I got reported on Venmo and Cash App and PayPal daily. Toward the end, I used to get emails from PayPal that are like, yeah, you got reported again. We got you. Not we got you. They didn't say that shit. They're like, I kept having to provide what I did and that I'm a real business and all that stuff. I don't know if that's why you did it, but that's kind of curious to me. Someone said, I don't know how to work that support. Oh, you don't know how to do it? It's an app on your phone. Here's an easy way too. If you don't have Cash App, you don't have Venmo, you don't use PayPal, go to citizenstringer.com/support. You could put a credit card right in there and do it. You don't need to do anything else. You could just do like a $5 credit card or $20, $500, $25,000. Like, I think we can take up to $25,000. Any of you rich people out there, please like solve my issue. Make it so we don't have to do loans and all that stuff. That would be nice. But that's the easiest way, Larry. If you don't know how to use Cash App or Venmo or whatever, just go to citizenstringer.com/support. Well, April, can you throw that in the chat on every channel? Just that link. If they want to do it with a credit card, they can go right there and do it. But yeah, we got reported all the time. When we used to do the riots and all that, they tried to DCMA claim me and have videos taken down. It never worked. We fought every fucking bit of it. I had a lawyer on retainer for the first year that I paid entirely too much. And so I sent them everything. So every time we got a DCMA claim, they fired back non-disclosures, they just threatened to sue everybody. It was pretty brilliant, and that's why it worked, and that's why we're able to keep doing it. It's that, April, that one works too. What else? Someone said, Deborah Oatley, I found it. That's not my name. Stephen Oatley is not my, that's not my Venmo. And my name was spelled wrong in whose ever messages. Rocky's Woodworkings. I actually did get your was it a text message or something? I got your message. I do want you to send those flags to the new address. Okay. So, and I'll tell you the address to our warehouse here, but you got to tell me when, especially if I'm in Florida, because don't send it right away. But the new address, you ready for our store here? It's on the side of every package that we send anyway, so I don't care. It's 172 Imboden, Imboden Drive, Suite 19. And that's in Winchester, Virginia. 22603. But you can send it to that address. You can rewind this. Sarah said, but it's your picture and I sent twice. Yeah, you may have just typed it wrong. I can't see what you are putting for your, like Sarah, with your message, I see this. You want me to check real quick to make sure I got it? What was it? Was that on Venmo? Or did someone fake it? Because we do have people that fake my name too. We had people on other channels do that for a little bit. Sarah, no, I got it. I got you. So you did the right one. You wrote it all out and you did do it twice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Joyce, you forgot the Winchester, Virginia. Someone said, I used to get trashed in Jeffersonton outside Winchester in your 20s. Oh, did you? Yeah, and it's Steve Oatley right there. Steve Oatley. It's right there on Venmo. Who's going to be the first $500 one today? Do we have one? I don't know. We had one yesterday. Who's going to be the first one to be like, you know what, Steve? I love you. Yeah, I mean, that would be all the gas. I'll be live streaming. I just hope. I don't think we're quite there yet for the Florida thing. I'm still going to go, but I'm not going to go till after, till the end of the week if I do it. Unless, like I said, if I do like $1,500 tonight, then I will. Yeah, and we're not close at all to $1,500. We're not even halfway there. But yeah, that's what we'll do. Someone said, I love watching you on Facebook. Much cleaner video. Yeah. Someone said, check Cash App for mine. Yeah, it probably worked. If it went through, it worked. There's plenty on both. I just wanted to make sure they weren't sending it to other people. Take extra gas. Yeah, I've got a couple of 10-gallon things here. So it should be good. I I don't know why this isn't showing the right amount, but whatever, it must be. I didn't see what name that was. Ava. I don't know. For Cash Apps. Unless you're Arlene, I have no idea. Can you spare a square? If I get to the number, and I still may go, like I have I want to go help people. And you guys know what Team Rubicon is? When I left the fire service, I signed up to do that and do all the deployments when we lived down in Florida to go volunteer at all the hurricanes and stuff. Never got a chance to do it because every hurricane I had to stay home because I had babies and my wife. But someone said, you will be safe driving, right? What if storms turn? Don't run into it. Yeah. Someone said, we are out of gas in Tampa. All stores are closed. Yeah. But yeah, Team Rubicon, I still get all their emails. I'm all signed up. But I never was able to do it. Never was able to do it. But I wanted to get one of their overseas deployments because they do those sometimes too, where you go and volunteer overseas. And at that time, I was still a firefighter and EMT. My certifications were still good. So I was really excited about that. I was approved for medical to, I don't know where it was, someplace over in Africa. I was approved to go. And then my wife was like, no, because I think it was like a 30-day deployment there to just go volunteer, to help people. But Amber said, we love you, Steve. Appreciate you. I wish you could help now. Struggling just to get. Yeah, no, that's fine. Someone said, but gas cans and empty dog food bags, roll it up and secure it with a chip clip, no fumes in your car. Does that really work? I was going to just bungee them. I was just going to drive them in the car, really, to be honest. The fumes aren't that bad. I have the really seal gas cans. But we'll see. Someone said, I think there's a chaser there from Arkansas too. Yeah, there's a lot. Travis said, did I get your Venmo? I mean, are we going to spend the last 25 minutes doing this? I can if you guys want. I don't care. Yeah, Travis, I got yours. Thank you, dude. You guys are gonna have much, much better odds at this camera than yesterday's laptop. I'll be honest. Yesterday was really good. We had a lot of people. There's gonna be much, much better odds. But Steve, did your boy win the game? No, 16-16. They tie because they don't play it out for some reason here. I don't understand. They also don't do field goals, which it doesn't make a lot of sense, but. Someone said, same. It's sad here. So many people. Yeah, there's another one that's a Freight Broker Libe on Cash App where it's like my name, but it's Libe. That woman's actually a viewer. I don't know if she sends everyone over, but I know people have done it because I've actually typed Freight Broker Libe before. But I get Cash Apps occasionally from Freight Broker Libe. And Olga is her name. So I think she may be a watcher. God Rides did send a Cash App this morning. Yep. Military, probably. Someone said, I wish you had someone to control the backside of the streaming side while you drive. Well, now with the new software, it's a little bit better. We don't have, I was talking to Adam today. That's why Adam's running our stream of the storm chasing stuff. If it's still up, I don't even know. That's on our other channel on YouTube. Yeah, it's up right now where you can watch the hurricane footage. We are running a 24/7 stream that's up on YouTube. And I'm just going to kind of put this up on here. You want to see it? This is it. I should have did this before. I don't know why I didn't. But we're running this right now on YouTube. And Adam's actually the one behind it. So you could say hi, Adam, and he'll see it and stuff. He's not talking. His microphone isn't set up. But you can see we have pictures of a bridge in Florida. Deerfield Beach is starting to pick up a little bit. That's Tampa. Tampa still looks pretty clear. Rain in Fort Myers. And like I said, these places still have power. I've heard that in Miami, some of the places have already lost power. So we'll have to see what actually transpires. But I'm going to run this all night on Citizen Stringer following this show. And then this is also live on Citizen Stringer TV YouTube page where you can watch it 24/7. You can watch it all night and watch it. I think there's sound. I have it muted. Actually, it doesn't appear there's sound now. But yeah, if there is a video that's sound worthy, we put it on. But someone said, sent on Venmo to Stephen Oatley. Well, that's not me. So, but someone said, yeah, it's Adam on YouTube, Freedom Flashpoint. No, it's also on Citizen Stringer TV. Look, because he's streaming to all of them. Because he was just going to stream to this. And I'm like, why don't you stream to your platform as well? Because maybe you'll catch some viewers and stuff. So he's like, all right, I'll do that. Because he was he was logged into my computer because Adam is like a fucking genius, right? With computers. And I was trying to get this software to work and I couldn't get it to work. And he was like, man, let me just see if I can get out in mine. And he's like, I can. I'll just run it right from here. I'm fine. Someone said, Steve, why don't you coach next year? That's exactly what we were talking. My wife and I were talking about. The Florida Keys cam has sound, someone said. Yeah, but it's not turned on for us right now. So that's why you don't hear it. And a lot of you guys are still sending the cash apps and all that stuff. So I appreciate it. Yeah. Someone said coming ashore in Naples tomorrow evening unless there is a change. It already changed because now it's coming ashore near Sarasota, which is south of Naples, I believe. That was the latest update I saw just before. Ton of tornadoes. Was that lightning or the camera flicker? I have no idea. But yeah, a ton of tornadoes have already been coming out. But yeah, so what I'm planning on doing, depending on how tonight goes, if you guys want to have me go down to Florida and cover this live, I'm planning on going to Florida. I was planning on going after the storm. Depending on how we do tonight with the Cash Apps and Venmos, we're still about halfway to our goal for the night. But if we do a little bit more tonight with the Cash Apps and Venmos, I will take my wife's car and leave tomorrow night and head down to Florida. And so, which means I'd probably be down there Thursday midday, and I'll catch it after it's already inland a little bit. And depending on where Sarasota is north of Naples. Oh, gotcha. So that's what I'm doing. I just can't, you know, things have been tight. I can't afford to leave right now because I still have to make money. You know what I mean? It's weird doing this, but whatever. Someone said, Steve, I think you should show all the riots from 2001 at the end of October till November 8th. You're talking about from 2020. And we actually have been doing that on Citizen Stringer TV, our streaming network, every single night. And we have hours and hours and hours of them on demand. And we'll just continue adding. All of 2020 riots will be on demand on Citizen Stringer for members. So if you go to citizenstringer.tv and become a member over there, if you use code RIOT and sign up for a year, you'll get 50% off your yearly subscription. So it's like $60 for the year. But there's a ton of all of our riot footage that we covered from 2020 in its entirety. Like yesterday I played the 27th. So yesterday was the 26th. So I think it was 9 hours of collective video that I live streamed from September 26, 2020. That's on demand now. And you'll see like familiar people, like people you haven't seen, like John Sullivan, who was arrested for the Capitol riot. He's an Antifa streamer. He was arrested, charged with 7 felonies for his participation at the riot. We have him marching down the streets in Salt Lake City, Utah in September of 2020, just 4 months before the January 6th riot at the Capitol, where he's chanting Black Lives Matter and F Donald Trump, which is kind of confusing, I know, because you would say, well, the Antifa wasn't present at January 6th. Well, nah, it's not true. And we know it's not true, but Ian's Vision said, sent you Steve Oatley and April McGee email as well as Citizen Stringer email. Hopefully you can get this fixed when you can. Is it about your membership or what is it about? Let's see. Let's just do it right now, right? Because it was. Are you Bonnie? If that's you, because I swear I fixed your account twice already. I hope nobody's trying to take advantage of me. Like, watch. Yeah, you're active. It is you, Eden's whatever. You are active right now. You just got to log in your account. That's all you got to do. Just log into your account. Click on the live stream and you'll see the live stream. That's all you got to do. I'm not going to show it because it shows your personal information, but you are live right now. What else? The time keeps changing. They don't know. Yeah, because I think yesterday, or the latest update I saw right before I started the show, was that it was going to be what? It was going to be 2:30 Wednesday, so 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, that it was supposed to be just off the coast. So all the bands would be hitting pretty crazy. But someone said it's going to be now 65 miles north of Tampa. See, everyone's hearing everything south. But I thought Tampa, so let me look at a map for Florida. All right. So if I look at this map, ad blockers. I'm so tempted to make Citizen Stringer a nonprofit and just be like, fuck off. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, Sarasota's in between Fort Myers and Tampa. Damn. So if it's going to hit Sarasota, oh, it's going to flood the fuck out of Tampa, no matter what. Because the latest one, because look, so here's the map, just in case nobody understands stuff. So the latest thing I saw is that around 2:30 tomorrow, it puts it right about there, right where my mouse is. It's about 2:30 tomorrow with a direct path coming in like this. All that water is going to push up. Didn't this happen a couple of years ago? It all pushes up into here and floods this whole fucking area. So that's likely going to happen again. You know, it was Fort Myers, but they've upgraded that. What I saw was Sarasota, and that was this afternoon. And I haven't checked since then, but I can only assume that it's the same. Someone said, no, I live 65 miles north of Tampa. They just updated it right before. Like right before I did this show. Tim, the Tool Man Taylor, sent me an infographic. Watch, let me find this infographic. Dun, dun, dun. Apple News has reportedly been hacked. Inappropriate push notifications have been sent out to users by a hacker named Thrax. That's crazy. I can't read the messages. They are awful. I know Tim. I thought Tim sent it to me. I'm not seeing the tweet now. Hold on, let me see. He probably just tagged me in it though. Let me see if there's everyone's posting this. Roz alert. Millions of Apple users have been sent inappropriate push notifications through Apple News by hackers. Is that real? Did any of you guys get push notifications on your iPhones? Here, I have a tablet here. Let me check the tablet because that would be interesting. I don't have Apple News on it though because fuck fake news. You know, so that was stupid. I don't even know why I looked. By the way, just as a reminder, if you send Cash Apps right there, Cash Apps, Venmo, or PayPal's, or visit citizenstringer.com/support and use a credit card, please write in the comments what platform you work on, because one person, I'm going to pick someone at random, and you're getting a lightly used, it's less than a year old, EOS Rebel T8i, several batteries, several lenses, and a nice carrying pack that'll be sent out tomorrow morning to you. Because I can. But you got to make sure, the only way I'm going to be able to tell is you got to make sure you write what platform you watch the show on so I can send it to you. So I can send you an email, or so I can send you a message to tell you to send me your address. And I'll do it about a half an hour after the show ends. And I'll give you a congratulations on all the other platforms as well. We're still, I'll be honest, we're still a little short if we're trying to go to Florida tomorrow. If you guys want me to go to Florida tomorrow and cover this, please consider supporting it, and then we'll go. And I'll keep the live stream live while I'm driving down there as long as I have internet connectivity. What I'll do is I'll run it through the backup server, so that way if I do drop the connection, it'll just play a placeholder. Probably this. I'll see if Adam can do that. I bet he can. It'll play this placeholder on social media until I reconnect, and then boom, it'll be live again. So if you can contribute today, this would be the day to do it. And yeah, it'd be really good. Really good. What else? 9:25. Oh my God. Someone said you should go to the rally instead. I don't want to go to the rally. I'll be honest. I don't want to. It's all the way in Michigan. Can't carry there. Well, maybe I could carry in Michigan, but I can't carry in several of the states leading to Michigan, I believe. So I don't really like traveling anywhere without a firearm. So, and to be honest, I've seen all of it, and I'll still watch it. That's the thing, is I'm still going to watch the rally and listen to the rally on Saturday. Ambulance convoy going north towards Tampa. Videos posted of tons of ambulances. You know, I never got to go. When I was on the fire service, they had a big tornado or a big hurricane down in Florida, and I worked. So I was I was on the fire department. I was an interim fire department firefighter. You know, so I wasn't a full time one yet. But I also worked full time for AMR as an EMT, and AMR sent like 7 ambulances down to Florida for one of their big hurricanes, and I didn't get to go. I was really pissed off. They paid a lot of money. Desiree said, not related to topic, curious when their September box is going out. I sent everyone a email to your registered email for your September boxes and notified you that I'm going to be pushing those back to October 15th to send out so I can get caught up. As you could see, Pure Truth Coffee website crashed. So I'm currently rebuilding that in the back end. I'm trying to get caught up on orders. I can promise you, we will never, ever be doing pre-sales for anything again. All of our future boxes will be shipped the day you order them, because it gets so far behind. Like, we had a rush on the boxes. I can't even keep up with it. So all of our coffee, it's just going to be marked out of stock. All of our T-shirts will be marked out of stock when we don't have them in stock. When we get them back, we'll re-up it, and then we'll put out a push notice or something. So the website going down today was actually kind of perfect, because I asked people this week not to make any purchases in the store to allow me to get caught up. and I've been knocking it off pretty good. So tomorrow morning, it's one of the reasons I can't leave for Florida until tomorrow afternoon, is tomorrow I'm going to try to get out all the coffee orders I can. We're still out of Awake Not Woke, still out of Flying High, but all of the other coffee orders, excluding the K-Cups, because those aren't done. The K-Cups are going to be weird. So this is how they're going to be packaged. They're going to be packaged 12 to a package or 12 to a row, depending on what size package you ordered. And they're going to have a label that's going to go across a whole row, like a whole. So basically, because I don't have the labels yet, because I did a pre-sale like I'm an idiot. And so I don't have labels for the K-Cups. So they're all the same. So if you order a box of Awake Not Woke, it's going to say Awake Not Woke. If you're one of the 10 or 15 that ordered a variety pack, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a big postage label, like one of these. I can't feed it out, but like a big 4x6 postage label. And I'm just going to put it over the top of the flavor, because they're all unlabeled. And I didn't think it through, but I don't want you guys to wait anymore for this shit. So I should have all the orders, every single order, caught up by October 15th. And at that point, that's probably when we'll start taking orders again. I'll be honest. If you're like super short on coffee and stuff, come next week, let me know. But I'm going to try to not take any more orders till October 15th, even though it hurts us financially. But I need to get caught up, because I'm so far behind in these orders and processing that I don't want to be anymore. Someone said, Steve, are you allowed to do an auction style for raising funds? No, not yet. We're working on changing our company classification. One of the things we're thinking about doing is taking the news side, because the news side doesn't really make money. The shows and all that stuff make money, but the actual news website doesn't really. So we're thinking about separating that and making it a nonprofit. So that, and I'll release that. We're not doing it yet. We haven't done it yet, but we're thinking about doing it because I think it follows more into what I envision it to be. So that's what we're thinking. Someone said that's a good idea. First come, first serve. What do you mean? We're getting lots of super chats. Don't send the super chats if you're trying to help me right now. Super chats don't help me right now. If you want me to go to Florida, don't send super chats. Do a Cash App challenge or a Venmo challenge. If you don't put your location in there, then, I'll still be able to tell. Probably. I recognize one of your names. Don't do the YouTube super chats. They take 30%, and I'm not going to see that for like a month, 2 months. If you want to help us on the Florida thing, let's do a Cash App, which is right there. Cash App challenge, Venmo challenge, whatever. Let's get down to business. You know that song? I don't even know where that song's from. I think my kid was singing it. Any way you can outsource. I don't like to because I like to micromanage. And here's the thing. This is what I need to do in order to, and I know what I need to do. I need to print this stuff and only sell what I have in stock. When I do pre-orders, it allows me to accurately place the order for it. It doesn't give me enough time to print the shirts, package the coffee, and do all that and get shit out when I said. So, but it allows me to fulfill a much bigger quantity of orders, right? So if I had, say, like 25 grand or 30 grand or 40 grand right now, I would buy all of the stock. I'd print it all right now, and then I could just fulfill orders the day that they come in. But I don't have that kind of reserves anymore because we bought a house. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in like a couple of $1,000 increments. So, like 1 week, I'll buy a shit ton of shirts. And then I could print out those shirts and have those in stock. So when you order a shirt from our store, fuck all the, the print on demand people. No, you order a shirt, you're going to have that shipping notice 24 hours later or the same day. Same with coffee. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't like the way this is going. Even though we're doing great, we're having, more sales months than we've ever had, the highest revenue sales we've ever had. I'm so buried in these orders that I've knocked off probably 100 orders in the past 4 days. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. I froze on CS, so let me fix that. I've been frozen for a few minutes because I didn't realize what time it was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick this over, and it's just my backup plan isn't working on CS. So I'm going to have to jury rig this thing, and hopefully it stays live all night. But from now until tomorrow morning on Citizen Stringer TV, fuck, I forgot to do the radio tonight. Whatever. Kind of missed that one. From tonight until tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., it's going to play this, what you're seeing here. This is our live stream. This is also going to stay up on YouTube on the Citizen Stringer TV YouTube page, and you can watch it all night. I'll leave the chat open. Just be respectful. Don't say anything stupid to get me banned. And man, I saw someone else's name and I thought it was someone else. But yeah, Pete Santilli is going to come on at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And then he's going to come on at 8 a.m. tomorrow, and I'll be on at 10. And then I'll let you know whether I'm going to. I should be live on CS now. I messed up something. Yeah, I'm live on CS now. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Someone said Steve needs to check Ryan Hall and get updates. Yeah. So hopefully it all works. Hopefully tonight, I haven't totaled up anything. So hopefully tonight was a good night and I could afford, and I'll be honest, as long as I could pay all the shit that I have to tomorrow, I'll go down. And it's not about going down for money or for live stream. It's not for content or anything. It's because I think, there's no real reporting anymore. If I go down there, I could try to do some real reporting. or maybe just help people. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's my idea. It's gonna be miserable too. I'll be hot as shit because I hate hot weather. But I'll do it for you guys. For you guys. Do I miss Florida? No. I was talking to my wife about that. We'd be getting crazy. Someone said, Eden's God Rides a Harley said, "Oh, honey, I've donated to the pool and to Steve Oatley for the trip. Still have half there." I don't know. But yeah, hopefully it's all good. Just everyone kind of stay loose, for the next half hour. Just check Facebook. I'm going to select one person, and you just got to send me your address by tomorrow morning so I can send you out this camera. I appreciate everyone for watching. Again, if you're watching this on a replay later and you want to support the trip to Florida or any future trips, feel free. When we do the Cash Apps or Venmos, that's what we're using because it's instantly available. So if there's breaking news, that's what it's going to be for. It's going to be for a fund, essentially, that we can just, pick up and go. My camera and everything, all my battery packs are right there on the floor charging. So all I have to do is unplug them, throw them in my bag, and go. I'm changing the way I'm doing our news side because you guys deserve it, and I deserve it too. It's exhilarating. When you write news articles and all that stuff. Eden won 102 in your lottery pool Saturday night. Nice. Optimus Prime said the beard is crooking. This guy always. But yeah, apparently that's a big story now. I just got a push notification about Apple being hacked. I haven't been able to verify if that's real. No one in our chat has Apple News. No, we don't know anybody that can confirm whether that's actually real. Because April, I don't know if you're up for it, but that may be an article. If it's real, if we can actually confirm it, I would like to get a tweet that's not the same tweet that everybody's sharing. Echo Romeo said, "Right on, Steve. I respect that. Probably going to be end up being a lot of folks heading that way to help. This may end up being a bad one." Yeah, I think it's going to be. I'll be honest. I think there's a high likelihood that I'm still going tomorrow. You'll know first thing in the morning because if I'm pissed off when I'm in the office at 10 o'clock in the morning because I had to drive a Lesbaru to work, and it's not a joke on sexuality or anything. My wife's uncle calls Subarus Lesbarus because he's a car salesman, and so we say it in our house because it's funny. Because it makes us think of him, and he's just a really funny guy. And so I just say it now. I don't even think about it. But I hate driving her car. So if I am driving that car tomorrow, you will know I'm going to Florida tomorrow afternoon. And I'll be honest, there's like a 97% likelihood I'm going to Florida tomorrow afternoon, whether or not I made the money. Because I did make the money to pay the urgent bills that I had to. So now with that, as long as I have enough gas to get down there, and maybe buy food once, I'm good. I'll go down there. First aid supplies. I have a whole med bag that I take usually when I go on trips from when I was an EMT that it stays in my car whenever we go on trips. It's actually in the warehouse right now from when I did the last trip. So that's what it will go. Someone said, "Steve, did you send out all the August boxes yet?" Yes, I did. And if you did not get yours, send me an email because we had one person that their box was stolen off their porch. And they were like, "You never sent it." And I'm like, "Here's your tracking number." And they're like, "Fuck, you sent it. The Postal Service said they delivered it too." So they're doing an investigation because someone stole it off of their porch. Anyway, but yeah, someone said, "Where am I going to go when I go down there?" I have no idea. And if any of you guys want to meet up, like if anyone's down there and just has like a shit ton of water or something, you want to give out water or help. It's not about just covering the news. I want to go down there to help wherever I can help. So that's kind of one of the reasons. And I will document it because that is what you guys want me to do. But all right, let me go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this live stream for Citizen Stringer TV, citizenstringer.tv. It's going to be on the live stream all night long. The sound, if Adam does turn on the sound will come back on. Right now, it seems like it's off, and that's not Adam doing it. I believe, well, maybe it is, but there's probably no sound but besides rhythmic waves. But you can watch and see what the hurricane does all night. There's obviously some lightning in Deerfield Beach, I guess, or that's the camera flicker. I don't know. But they have power everywhere. Miami had lost power and then it came back. So we'll have to see. But I appreciate all you guys. And then keep in a bit, just checking. Like if you were one of the people that sent a Cash App or Venmo and you have like another half hour, because I always have to do the post shit for this show. Then I will set it all up on my computer. I'll pick one person and I'll send you a message. If you say you're on Facebook, if the winner's on Venmo, it's super easy, or the winner's on CS, it's super easy. Everyone else, just check Facebook or my YouTube, like where I put the comments and shit on YouTube. Not the comments, the community tab, I think it is. Because then I'll let you know you won there and that you need to send me an email. All right. But I'd like to get the camera out tomorrow morning. So, but you have like another half an hour or so. I'll do it probably right around 10 p.m. All right. Anywho, and actually, because this camera will be live, I'll announce it live on Citizen Stringer. How about that shit too? Maybe. Fuck. I almost just ended this, but that's not what I need to do. I need to now go over here and end all of social media. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.